Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures. Today I wanted to talk about the Ripper suits. This is one of the original ones from Mantic, and while they were great for their time, and I know there were some naysayers out there, that's not actually what this video is about. I never really gelled with these as much as I should have. I mean, they've got buzzsaws, they're heavily armored, cannons on them. It works, theoretically, but visually, artistically, it never did a whole lot for me. It was a lot more cobbled together than the much more uniform look of the Marauders when Mantic released Deadzone. So I saw some models show up online that I was like, oh my god, these are perfect for Ripper suits. And I speak none other than the latest release from Puppetswar. So Puppetswar has been putting out some really nice modular figures, and this figure is not 100% completed yet, and he's got a head stuck there, that's okay. But I wanted to talk about these. So these are their new Orc heavy armor suits, and so if you're not familiar with Puppetswar, all their stuff is already designed for magnet usage. So you'll see like this little hole right there. There were holes originally on all of the limbs. I don't have any extra limbs, unfortunately, with me, but I'll show you some of these in a sec. So all these parts are modular. His head actually isn't attached. This is a much more samurai-looking head. That's just where my particular tastes lie. They had some of these bulky, heavy ones. If I can get that one in there. Much more of a kind of cover. There were some generic skull-style ones. But if you know me, we're going with the samurai ones. So these two sections right here, you have all kinds of little options. For the hands, unfortunately, so far at least, I should say, we've only had two choices, drills or claws, which, you know, looking at what we've got on the actual Ripper suits, well, they'd be having drills and claws anyways, and I think they're a lot better proportioned, and they fit on the 40mm base as well. But let me show you what I was talking about here. So the section where that gun is, there's a couple of different variations you can put in there. Single barrel, mini Gatling guns, searchlights, and you'll notice that little hole right there, that's actually to fit the magnet, which you can then totally magnetize this guy and swap things around. Rockets, another type of lamp. There's a couple of different variations on all those parts. And I want to say there were at least 7 or 8 heads. And then if you really like these types of models, and you really want to go to town, they've also had a whole-on Samurai Boss one. I want to say these were like... Now, they had this without the Samurai armor stuck on the front with a more traditional head, but I believe they did have all with the axes and cannons on top. The shoulder pads, I don't know if these guys had extra shoulder pads. This dude doesn't really fit on a 40mm base, but if you wanted to use him as like a Mega Knob or something, he fits wonderfully on a 50mm. I guess he'd be more like a big boss type. But honestly, I was like, these are really great. Now, I mean, Puppetswar have their own orcs, their own marine type models that, you know, if you're going to be playing any kind of system agnostic game anyways, of the various types out there, they're going to work great, I think. But I think they would match and mix quite well with Mantic's current offerings. With the more GW style stuff, I'm more inclined to think they may not be the best fit. But I think that's more of a stylistic choice. So if you're in the market for something to supplement your Warpath, Firefight, Deadzone, Mantic armies, I think these are going to be some really solid options for you. Or if you just want cool looking orcs and big heavy power armor like me, I think they're also going to be a good choice. So if you haven't had a chance to check out Puppetswar's stuff, we'll have a link down below. You can take a look yourself. Don't take my word for it, obviously, if you want to go print some of this stuff. Unfortunately, this guy so far does not have a lot of options I wanted to mention. He only has the cannon up on top. I love all the wiring behind him. So something to think about. Something to ponder. And definitely something to get printed. So, with that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures. saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.